Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I am plumbobd, and today we are building a new house for our son Sequoia rebuild series. This is kind of a particular house, I would say, because it's a house that in my head the people who live here are renting this house, so that's kind of a big house, but they are a gay couple that's made up of a kind of criminal and a kind of like someone who's in the tech guru career. So in my head they are a hacker. So together they are partners not only in life but also partners in crime, and they go around. They probably know all the rich families in all the world, probably the Villarreal, the land grabs, the gods, and so on. And they go to their houses and they scam them. They somehow manage to steal their stuff. So this house is furnished in kind of a peculiar way, I would say. On the outside you will see that the house is very kind of typical blue suburban. I am kind of coming for Lilsimsie crown here, which of course I will never be able to do. Like, she builds always the perfect suburban home, and that's just not my style. It's also because I'm not American, so I don't really know how to correctly portray an American suburban home. But that's not the point. I was going for a blue suburban, and that's kind of what happened. And but on inside you will see that some fixtures are more kind of typical suburban family home. Like, we have, for example, a parenthood kitchen. Also the dining room is kind of furnished in a nice way, but then you have sparkled here and there some like gaming stuff, some black couches. They have completely remodeled their bedroom, so it's kind of different from the rest of the house. They also have a room where they store all of their stolen objects. Also, for example, in the dining room they have a super expensive painting which completely does not match the rest of the house, but that's kind of the point. So bear with me if this house is not really furnished in a organic way, but that was kind of the point. Like, these people are trying to hide the fact that they are criminals, so they live in the perfect little American suburban home, but they actually are criminals. They also really don't take care of their garden. You will see they have curtains in every single window, like full blackout curtains, so people cannot see inside. So they are kind of a bit weird, but maybe the neighbors just think they are, kind of an introvert. Maybe they wonder why they don't mow the lawn. You will see I've used a lot of the debug get-together grass, except in some points. We have, for example, like a table with a couple of chairs with an ashtray, which I saw Sydney Macoreta doing it. She used the pots from the greenhouse haven kit as kind of an ashtray, and I imagine they will probably smoke a cigarette after they robbed someone, just to celebrate late at night before going to bed. They just smoke a cigarette. And yeah, so I've also used a lot of terrain manipulation. I mean, I say a lot because I usually keep the lots flat, but I use quite a bit because I wanted the house to be a garage, or like to have a garage. And that's also some kind of storage, but that's more storage for equipment they would use for doing robberies and stuff. But yeah, in order to have both a garage and a house on a foundation, you either have to make the garage detached, or, as I did, you would use terrain manipulation to get the terrain up to the level that you want. So it kind of looks like the terrain is sloping towards the garage. I'm not the best at terrain manipulation, I have to say, so it's not perfect in any way. Also, I struggled quite a bit when it came to furnishing the backyard, because items were floating here and there because the terrain was not flat, even though I tried to make it flat because I've used the the increased terrain level up to a certain level kind of thing, but didn't work. So yeah, I'm not the best at terrain manipulation. It took me quite a bit. You probably saw me fiddle around with the terrain manipulation quite a bit. I've also struggled a lot with what wood tone I would want to use with the blue siding, which I had to change the lighting from morning to afternoon because the blue siding was kind of looking green in the morning light. So the afternoon light is not the best on this lot, but you know, it's what makes the build look blue. if you get what I mean. But yeah, so I initially went for this like very pale oatmeal wood tone. Then I changed it to a more orangey wood because I thought it would fit better, and also because season has a lot of orangey wood. But then I just did not like the look, so I went back to the oatmeal kind of wood tone. And that's basically what I've used for stairs, railings, spandrels, columns, windows, doors, etc. Like everything is kind of in that wood tone, which in turn made me not being able to use so much of cottage living, because I think the lightest wood tone is that kind of mid wood tone, honey wood tone that you see as like the borders of the garage ramp, the ones that I am currently terrain painting. Those were too warm, so I just couldn't use doors and windows from that back, or even flooring. I've used the flooring from Cats and Dogs, I think, because they also have kind of a pale, very pale, warm wood. You saw me also struggle quite a bit with the landscaping. I didn't do much landscaping because, again, I think these guys don't take care of their garden so much because they don't care. They just wanted a house to cover up the fact that they are criminals. They don't really care about like taking care of the plants or the lawn. The lawn. In fact, you will see basically no plants in this build, which is something so weird to say for a simmer, not using plants. But honestly, I think that's a challenge that many simmers should take on, because we have the habit of using plants in every single corner of the house, because when we don't know what to put, we just, put a plant. But trying not to use plants is definitely a challenge that someone should take on, because it makes a house much more realistic. Because I don't know about you, but most of the families or the family houses I've been in don't have so many houseplants, because people work, they don't have so much time to take care of these plants, or they are not able to take care of plants, so they just don't. So I mean, this is kind of realistic. They just don't have that much going on in front of the house. They just have a couple of bushes and a couple of flower. Maybe they are even wildflowers. They just don't take care of them. Maybe they cut them into shape once in a while, but they don't do so much. And now you're seeing me going around the garden, just like putting high grass from the get together debug all over the garden, except in the areas that are actually used. Like we have, for example, a table for like dining purposes, a table for smoking purposes, and a garbage bin, and a a barbecue. So like those are the only areas that probably these guys mow the lawn, but they don't take care of the rest because they just don't care. I know it might sound like I'm being lazy and not really wanting to landscape and furnish it, but I just really think they do not care about their garden. I think this house is just a cover-up. In fact, you can see that the garage looks kind of sketchy. They have a lot of equipment, lots of boxes, kind of weird, but that's kind of equipment for robberies and stuff. Now we're moving on to the kitchen, and this is where the house gets a little more cuter, I would say, because probably this came with the house, so they furnished it for a kind of family. So it's kind of cute. It uses lots of parenthood. I've also used the stovetop and oven from Dream Home Decorator. I'm putting an island on top, in front of the kitchen, and I'm cluttering it a little bit. So that's kind of more the cuter area, but then you will see a massive 3000 simoleon painting, and you will just wonder, how do these guys manage to afford this type of decor? They just don't. They steal it. Yeah, that's basically it. So kind of life updates. I am about to move to Germany at the time that I am recording this voiceover. When this video will go up, I will already be in Germany actually, but I won't have a house until Thursday. So I will have to stay in a hostel for the first few days. Greedy landlords, they didn't scam me, but they just like said, oh yeah, you will be able to move in at this date, and then when I actually signed the contract, they said, oh no, actually the apartment is already occupied by another tenant until this date, so you will have to wait until this other date. And also Thursday is the first day I start working, so I will be going to work directly from my hostel. I also don't think that hostel has a kitchen, so I will have to eat out a lot, a lot. So yeah, that's basically like moving to Germany has been one of the most stressful events of my life, just because of all the bureaucracy that I had to go through. And being European, I would think like you don't need health insurance because you can just use your national health insurance. You don't need a foreign bank account because you can just use your national bank account, because technically it's illegal not to accept European bank accounts in Europe, but my company decided, no, you need a German bank account. Okay, alright, I will make a German bank account. I thankfully don't need a German phone number because I didn't want to go through that. Also because Italy has one of the cheapest phone plans in all of Western Europe. So I didn't really want to go for a German number because I knew that would be more expensive. But yeah, this has been one of the most stressful periods of my life. So if next week you won't see a video on my side, know that it is because I'm still trying to adjust, because I will finally enter into my house on Thursday. I will probably try to make some friends and explore the city on the weekend, so I will not film probably. So yeah, just next week there might be a video, there might not be a video. It's a surprise. But yeah, coming back to the build, we have furnished the kitchen. You saw I have added that $3,000 painting, and also I went around with these high school years blinds, and I've just put them all around the first floor, just because like these guys, again, they are very private. They don't want people to know that they are criminals, of course, so they are just kind of hiding what's inside their house. I've also made kind of into gaming. I wanted to put this gaming station, but it just didn't fit. So they have a console table, like not a console table, a console, like a gaming console. And for example, these couches and armchairs, and also this side table that I'm about to place, everything that you see in black is probably in my head something that they have kind of put themselves, like that's their style of decor. Maybe this house wasn't completely furnished, so they have decorated a little bit with their stuff. But yeah, so that's basically the vibe they are going for. Now we're moving on onto the first floor, which is where there's gonna be a guest bedroom, which we are furnishing right now. Of course, being criminals, they don't have many guests over, so this room will be filled with boxes and storage and stuff, like it's not really used. It's probably it has probably been furnished by the landlord, but they just don't use it. On this floor we also have a bathroom, which I have already furnished the bathrooms off camera, otherwise this video would have been years long. We also have the main bedroom and a kind of office, which also doubles as like the listening station, the place where they plan their next crimes, storage for their stolen items. So that's what we are about to furnish right now. I am putting the listening station from Strangerville, and I am also putting a desk from Strangerville with a kind of fancy computer, and you will see me now go around and place lots of decor, stolen decor. I'm placing it on shelves, on the walls, on the floor. This house is probably like an insane price for what it is, but once you go into it, you realize that they had so many, like they have like 4 or 5 frogs from $8,000 frogs from Jungle Adventure. They also have many $10,000 plates. So like, you know, this house has a cost just because of the items that are in it, not necessarily because this is a mansion or something like that. I really wanted to build like a mid-sized home, but of course the items in itself are expensive, especially the ones that I have placed. Now I use this display cabinet from Jungle Adventure, which honestly I love that it fit perfectly. It was just 3 tiles wide, and I filled it with more plates, more frogs, statues, bottles from Journey to Batuu, which they are not super expensive. I think they're just, you know, cute, maybe stolen stuff from, maybe they are like historical things. But yeah, this is the last room that we are furnishing. So this is more like the room they have renovated. You can see black walls, so you can see the feature wall from Dream Home Decorator that I placed, and also their furniture, like their wardrobe, their dresser. And I am going around with LED lights from not Discovery University, from high school years, and I'm turning all the room to green because, you know, these people are gamers. They want kind of a vibey light. I initially wanted to like color every single light by itself. Then I decided it might have been more quicker just to turn all the lights in the room green, and then the lights that I didn't want to be green, I could turn them back to like a neutral color. But yeah, so this is the end of our speed build. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you can be notified every time that I post. This really helps the channel out. Also follow me on all of my social media. Those will be linked in the description down below. Screenshots should now be rolling. I will catch you all in my next speed build. Goodbye.